There is an ancient truth hidden in plain sight that remains as relevant now as it did thousands of years ago. The path to true strength lies not in control over the world around us, but in mastery over ourselves. Imagine if we could stand unshaken amidst chaos. If we could observe life's storms with a quiet mind, maintaining our clarity and purpose even when everything around us threatens to pull us under. This idea isn't just a distant ideal or an abstract philosophy. It's a practical approach to life rooted in the teachings of Stoicism. We live in a world that glorifies emotions, where anger and passion are equated with power, and being emotionally reactive is mistaken for strength. Yet, the Stoics saw it differently. To them, real strength was measured by one's ability to harness and master these emotions, rather than being dominated by them. In an era where the external world moves faster than ever before, the Stoic approach to emotional mastery is not merely a relic of history. It is a profound solution to the challenges we face in modern life. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca once said. To embrace this insight is to understand that most of our suffering is self-inflicted, arising not from the world itself, but from our responses to it. By internalizing this truth, we can start to unravel the mysteries of our minds and take the first steps toward emotional mastery. The first steps to inner mastery: facing ourselves. The Stoics believed that before we can master anything in the world, we must first master ourselves. Self-mastery begins with facing ourselves, our fears, our insecurities, our impulses. We cannot change what we refuse to confront. And here lies the first lesson of Stoicism: an unflinching acceptance of reality, especially our own inner realities. To the Stoic, acknowledging and understanding one's emotions is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who carried the weight of an empire on his shoulders, maintained that the journey to wisdom began with introspection. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not a call to ignore the world's challenges, but to meet them with an inner strength born from clarity and self-knowledge. We all know the feeling of being overtaken by emotion. Anger boiling up, anxiety seizing us, jealousy creeping in. The Stoics would remind us that these feelings do not define us, nor are we obligated to act on them. Rather, they believed that through reflection and inner work, we can observe these emotions without letting them command our actions. This is the essence of emotional intelligence. By observing our emotions, acknowledging their existence, and understanding their origins, we begin to separate ourselves from our reactions. This gap between feeling and action is where true freedom lies. The art of observation, emotion as a visitor. Stoicism teaches us to regard our emotions not as permanent fixtures of our identity, but as temporary visitors. To feel is human, but to be mastered by feeling is to lose touch with our deeper selves. In Stoic thought, emotions like anger, fear, and sorrow are natural, but must be tempered by reason. When we allow emotion to consume us, we hand over our power. But when we view emotion as a visitor, a passing storm, we remain centered, grounded. Seneca tells us, anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. This insight is timeless. Imagine standing amidst a raging storm. The storm is powerful and real, but it is temporary. It will pass, as all things do. By viewing our emotions as temporary visitors, we can acknowledge their presence without being swept away. This mental stance does not eliminate the emotion, but places it in perspective, allowing us to act from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. The fortress of the mind, building emotional resilience. The Stoics saw the mind as a fortress, a stronghold that could weather the fiercest storms if properly fortified. This fortress is built not by hardening ourselves against emotion, but by cultivating resilience, by learning to bear life's trials without collapsing under their weight. Epictetus, a former slave who rose to become one of the most respected philosophers of his time, knew hardship and suffering intimately. Yet he taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. To react with resilience, to endure without resentment, is to embody true strength." Imagine the daily provocations we all face, the small insults, the unforeseen setbacks, the inevitable disappointments. Each of these is an opportunity to practice resilience. Each time we choose to respond with calm rather than outrage, we fortify the walls of our inner citadel. This strength does not manifest overnight. It is a muscle, strengthened by practice, forged in the fires of life's challenges. With each act of patience, each moment of quiet endurance, we grow closer to emotional mastery. The illusion of control, letting go of what lies beyond us. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is a radical idea. Much of what we desire to control is, in fact, beyond us. The opinions of others, the outcome of events, even our own past. These are things we cannot change. The Stoics taught that by surrendering our desire to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from endless cycles of frustration and disappointment. This is not resignation, it is liberation. When we focus solely on what lies within our power, our thoughts, our responses, our attitudes, we reclaim our energy and direct it toward our own growth. Marcus Aurelius captures this idea with a simple yet powerful reminder. Do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others when you do not refer your thoughts to some object of common utility. To dwell on what others think, or to brood over what we cannot change, is to squander our limited time. Instead, the Stoics urge us to direct our attention inward, to invest our energy in cultivating a mind that remains undisturbed, regardless of external circumstances. The strength of acceptance. Embracing life as it is, one of the deepest tenets of Stoic wisdom, is the practice of amor fati, the love of fate. This does not mean passively accepting all that happens, but rather embracing life, in all its forms, as necessary and meaningful. We may not understand why misfortune strikes, why we lose what we cherish, or why suffering exists. But in accepting life as it is, without judgment or bitterness, we find a profound peace. This acceptance is not defeat. It is a recognition of life's inherent unpredictability, coupled with a commitment to face whatever comes with courage and grace. Nietzsche, inspired by the Stoic ideal, expressed it as, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." When we stop resisting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. The Stoic does not waste time lamenting what is lost, but finds purpose in what remains. The path to emotional intelligence. Choosing wisdom over impulse. To live with a Stoic mind is to live with a disciplined, intentional focus on what truly matters. This is the essence of emotional intelligence, the ability to act, not from a place of impulse, but from a place of wisdom. By choosing wisdom over impulse, we cultivate a mind that is both calm and alert, capable of navigating the highs and lows of life with a steady hand. The Stoics teach us that emotional intelligence is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. When we feel anger, fear, or sorrow, we do not ignore these emotions but observe them with curiosity and understanding. We ask ourselves, what does this emotion reveal about my values, my desires, my attachments? In this way, emotion becomes a teacher, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves. The legacy of Stoic wisdom. Walking the path together. The Stoic path is not easy. It demands discipline, introspection, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But it is a path worth walking, for it leads to a freedom and strength that cannot be found elsewhere. We are not alone on this journey. The great philosophers who came before us, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, they too struggled with the same human emotions we face today. They were not immune to anger, fear, or sorrow. Rather, they chose to rise above them, to cultivate a mind that remains unshaken by life's trials. In choosing to live with a Stoic mind, we join a lineage of seekers, of individuals who dared to pursue a life of meaning and mastery. As we walk this path together, let us remember that every experience, whether joyful or painful, serves as a stepping stone toward self-mastery. Closing the circle, a call to rise above. In the end, there is no battle more worthy, no victory more profound than the mastery of one's own mind. So let us rise to this challenge, not as isolated individuals, but as fellow travelers on a shared journey. Let us embrace the storms of life, not with fear, but with resilience, with clarity, with a quiet strength that comes from knowing who we are and what we stand for. Imagine a world where we are no longer held captive by fleeting emotions, where we respond to life's trials with grace, courage, and wisdom. Imagine the strength, the peace, that comes from living with a mind that is both calm and alert, unwavering in the face of life's tempests. This is the promise of Stoicism, a life of inner harmony, built on the foundation of self-mastery, a life where we are free, not because the world bends to our will, but because we have learned to shape ourselves. The path forward may not be easy, but it is simple. It requires no special tools, no secret knowledge, only the commitment to face ourselves honestly, to accept life as it is, and to act with wisdom, even when it's difficult. This commitment, renewed daily, transforms us from within. We are no longer at the mercy of the world around us. Instead, we become masters of our inner world. So, as we close this reflection, let us each take a moment to pause and consider, what would it mean to truly live with a Stoic heart, to walk through life with strength, compassion, and unshakable calm? What would change if we chose each day to meet life's challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to grow? This is not an abstract question. It is an invitation, a call to action. Let us commit, here and now, to embody this wisdom. In the days ahead, when anger arises, let us breathe, let us observe, and let us choose patience. When disappointment comes, let us remember our power to shape our responses. When life tests us, let us stand firm, knowing that each challenge is an invitation to strengthen our fortress within. If this message resonates, if you feel the call to reclaim your inner strength, then join us on this journey. Embrace the Stoic path, not as a distant philosophy, but as a living, breathing practice. Reflect, observe, and begin to cultivate the strength to stand unmoved by life's storms. Subscribe, share, and walk this path with us. Together, we can build lives rooted in wisdom, resilience, and unbreakable calm. In mastering ourselves, we take the first step toward mastering life itself.